This is a demo for creating a cylinder using oil pastels. The first thing you want to do is sketch the cylinder lightly on your paper using a pencil. I then chose the three colors of yellow, green, and blue that are next to each other on the color wheel. I would suggest using an analogous color group to color your cylinder. I start by blocking in the light value of yellow throughout the picture. Notice, coloring very lightly, scribbly, multiple directions. Don't worry about neatness, don't push hard on the oil pastel at this point. It goes from light to dark, so I'm going to use my middle values on the left and the right side. Again, coloring lightly in a scribble motion, multiple directions. It's not going to look nice and neat. I'm just blocking in where my light and middle dark values are going to be. Now taking the blue on the far left and far right to show the darkest areas of the cylinder. Now that I have my three values, I'm going to take the yellow value, the first value I worked with, and push hard on the paper to start blending and mixing those colors together. If I need to go back in and add more blue or green value, you can do so at any time. Going back though continuously to the yellow value, the lightest value, to push and mix and blend those colors together. I'm making a slight curved shape that masks or follows the top and the bottom of the cylinder. This will create more volume within your shape. I'm using a little bit of orange around the edges. Orange is opposite of blue on the color wheel. It's a complementary color to blue. That'll create a little bit darker value in those edges. And then I use a little white in the middle to create a little more of a highlight. This will extend our ranges and give us a little more realism to our cylinder. I'm using that yellow to blend those all back in, with maybe a little bit blue also to blend in that orange. Now let's look at the top. It goes from dark to light. We already have the lightest values in, so let's apply some green, our middle values, and then our blue, darker values. Use the yellow color again to blend and mix those together. Now I want to create a contrast between the top and the side there without using a black oil pastel to outline. So I'm going to add a little of the blue to create a nice little edge between the two. Blending that back in with some yellow so it's not too obvious. Finally, we want to create a background. Using a green here, create a nice edge against the cylinder, and then pushing hard and filling that in right away. Give it a nice solid green, not too complicated here. Once the green is colored in, I use a blue to again make a nice clean edge around the top of the cylinder, and then I'll fill in the rest with a blue. I tried to use the side of the oil pastel, although it didn't fill in the paper too well, so I ended up using the tip again to finish coloring in the blue. Now I want to create a shadow. Take the black oil pastel, add some dark values down at the bottom. It's a little too contrasty for me, so I use the green and go back over the black. It creates a softer edge and a color that more matches its surroundings. I found that the ground was too similar in color to the cylinder itself, so I tested out some different ways to create more contrast. First with orange, but I didn't think that helped as much. So instead I tried to use some white. I thought that created a nice contrast between the two. So I filled in the background with some white. And there you go. There's my techniques. Give it a try. Make a cylinder using oil pastel. You can change your colors. You don't have to use yellow, green, and blue. But have fun, give it a try, experiment, and test it out.